I'm sure many of you have seen this kind of interactions and you're wondering, how can I do this in Figma? I got you covered. So let's get straight into the video. To do that, all we have to do is design this. Now, for the benefit of those who may not know how to design this, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So the first step is getting out your frame. I'm going to choose the iPhone 13 mini. It's just going to be beside this one. All right, and with that selected, all I'll need to do now is, I love to title my stuff, so I'm going to title it expand, and we'll just choose this color. Ensure to use colors that are applicable to the product you're designing for. And to proceed, we'll need to have text, so I'm going to type in FAQ and a little s, and it's going to be 16 and bold, and I'm using the font Ionic. It's spelled AEONIK. Right, so with that, I will turn on my grid. I have some grids here. I'll use my 4-point grid, and I will just move this to the grid. With that, I can extend it a bit, and for the size, I'm going to make that 24, and then I will duplicate that to design this other part. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to type in question. You can type in your question. So for this, I'm going to use actual questions. I'm going to ask, what is this video all about? And that would be the question. Right now, I'm going to change the size to 16, and I'm going to make that medium. All right, we have the question. I'm going to get out the answer. So I'm going to type in the answer. This video is about expanding a field more or less. Right, so that's it. I'm going to change the color for the answer to 717171. That's a gray. Right, don't worry, you start seeing what I'm doing shortly. Let me zoom into that. Right, and then I'm going to change this one to 222222. Right, with that, I would select both of them and I'll put them in an auto layout. The distance between them can be anything of your choice, but for mine, I'm going to make that 8. With this, I'm going to extend. I will just drag from the right to touch the other part of our grid. Now I have that, and what I'm going to do next is change the horizontal padding in the auto layout panel to 16 and the vertical to also 16. I'll give you the color now, white, so that you can see the background, and I will just turn off my grid. Right, select this, and I'm going to change the radius to 8. Now with these two selected, I'm going to come up here and change the horizontal resizing, which is beneath the width, to fill container. Now that fills the entire container, and then the answer cannot be same size with the header. It can be if you want, but for this video, I'm going to reduce it a bit to 12. Let's use 12, and I will change it from medium to regular. Now that seems a bit far, so I would reduce it to about half the distance, so that will be 4. All right, with this, I have all I need. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy. Actually, we need one more stuff, which is these icons. Now I'm going to show you how I did these icons. All you need to do is come up here. I've created an instance for the icons, so I'm going to use material symbols for this particular one, and I'm going to choose chevron. So I'm going to type chevron because that's what it's called, and I'll get out the first one, which is the expand more. And I will just duplicate that actually, and then get out the second one. Click and it will exchange that. Select both of them or more of them. Go up here to components and choose create component set. Now that turns that into a component set, and I'm going to change the title to icons. All right. In here, I'm going to select the first icon, go to the property channel here, or layer channel rather, double click, select the name expandless, which is the icon's name, and I'll change that to yes or true. And then for the second one, I'm going to change that to no or false. So you can use any of these. The idea for this is so that you can have something that looks more like this, a toggle. So you can see the toggle button toggles it on and off, and that's the goal for me. Now I'm going to move this into my frame, and then I'm going to select the question and the answer. I'll put them in another auto layout, click auto layout, and then select this guy. Ensure your width is on fixed. You can see mine is on fixed width, all right, not hog content. All right, once it's there, I will change the direction to horizontal layout, and with that I would move this one this way, and we have this guy over here. Now we can easily toggle on and off this stuff. So we're going to leave it down here this way, and with this we can now create our interaction for what we want to use it for. All right, let's duplicate this frame. So I'm going to duplicate it. Let's zoom into that. All right, and I'm going to change the title to FAQ, just FAQ, right? Nothing special. All right, and then I'll duplicate it, and this time I'm going to change this icon to point upwards, and then this one I'm going to hide the answer. So hide the answer, and now we have just the question and then the answer. All right, the question and then the question and the answer. Select both of them. All right, select both of them. I'm using the trackpad, so that's why I'm a bit slow. So sorry. Use the mouse for yours. Don't use the trackpad. I'll select both of them. Go up here and change it in the components section and choose create component set. Now once you do that, all you have to do now is interact or create your prototype. So I'm going to select this where the prototype action will be taking place, which is this. I'm going to select it, go to prototype, and then just drag the node to this one. Now it's on tap, so that works because it's when a user taps or clicks on it that it works. And then I'll change the action from instant to smart animate because I want it to have just a smooth gesture. All right, I'll come here because we obviously would close it at times to view other FAQs. So I'm going to drag from this other one back to it. Very easy. It's just like closing something and opening it. So you know, if you open a door, you have to close the door. So that's basically what we've done. And you don't need to do anything here. It's on tap, it's on smart animate, and you just have to close it and click design. That's all. Now we are ready to turn our design into a magical experience. Right, so hold shift alt and drag out one of that. Alt, drag out one, and you can do the same thing for this, as in yes and no. So I'm going to come here, change default to yes, and then the second one I'm going to also change it to no. All right, now we're going to grab this guy and bring him into our design. We'll get rid of this other one, we don't need it anymore, and then we're going to bring this guy somewhere around here, and we're going to duplicate him one more time. Select both of them, put them in an auto layout. All right, change the distance to 16, duplicate it one more time, so Ctrl D, or multiple times, but ensure they are in auto layout. That would help us achieve better results. Select the FAQ with the questions and answer and put them in auto layout. Now we can extend the FAQ to be field container, and this is just about the design. The prototype is very easy. We've done that already. So all we have to do now is test this. To test this, we're going to open it up. So we'll open it up here, and we can now try to see if what we did worked. So all we have to do is just click, and that works perfectly. You can see how smooth it is, and that's because of the smart animate. If you found anything useful in this video, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel at Davey White, and I would see you very soon.